So, what is up, guys? Serenity. It is your boy Alex over here with Power Rankings. I'm joined by.
You're joined by
Reapple, hi,
me,
this is me.
Henry.
Incredible.
Incredible. So I'm
you,
joined by
you go
Reapple.
first, Ree.
Uh, I'm uh, I'm joined by Reapple and Rose X Bloom. And for context, Reapple and Rose are both players in the Serenity division, as most of you guys have seen, who are playing in this division. For context, I am a black and white draft player above all else, so my knowledge of DPP is somewhat limited, but I understand the basics well enough. And Ree and Rose are the bigger knowers here, so I will give a lot to them, but I will give my own takes as well as we go on.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, I have nothing else to really say at this point, so let's just get started with mid polls. Scarcity 25 for the team name, and very interesting team. What do you guys think?
Um, it's got like a weird gap in the speed tiers and also has a couple of big sort of weaknesses, but has all of the pieces that you would want in a team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so what I can see is that the first pick, Infernape, is, in my opinion, fairly well supported here by the Celebi, by the Snorlax, the Vaporeon, the Registeel. So you're enabled for it to click the U-turn, the mixed attacks, in the defensive profile, and on the offensive side, you have the Weavile, you have, I guess, the Muck, and you have a
One of the
Kato.
things that I have issues with this team is the lack of momentum to get in mons like Infernape and Weavile. Like they kind of have to hard switch into things because your only pivots are Celebi and Infernape. And you've got some really, really potent sweepers, but they're difficult to get in.
Uh,
Would Vaporeon not have Baton Pass as well, just to help out a little with it?
I guess,
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
yeah, it does.
Would Vaporeon also be there, just a Baton Pass?
Yeah, true.
What I think I kind of dislike about this team is that there is a huge lack of like damage inherently. Like Infernape is quite a good cleaner in its own way, and it is very strong, but it feels like it's kind of forced into a more breaking role because there's a lack of spikes, which is a luxury after all, but there is a clear lack of spikes. There is no right like mon that can just slap on choice specs or choice band and roll with it outside of maybe Weavile, and even Weavile in this generation feels kind of clunky at doing it because it has unreliable stab types for the
That's true.
format. So I don't. You kind of lack like this true breaker. So you're entirely relying on like Snorlax setting up with Curse, or the Weavile Sword Stances, or Infernape's Nasty Plots or Carmines. And while that can be a good thing, alongside with the lack of momentum, as mentioned earlier, I cannot really see this team being like super easy to run. You have to go kind of above and beyond for your offense.
It will have some high highs though, because you do have incredible cleaning. It's just whether you can get to a position where you can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, some spikes would be good on here because like Revoke is pretty passive otherwise. Like the defensive ones like seem pretty exploitable with like Vaporeon and Registeel.
yeah. Uh, Rosie mentioned that there's a high chance of like counter sweeps in the format due to like Suicunes and Suicunes and Cresselia, and I think that's well covered here. Because you have...
Yeah, no, definitely. You have your ability to handle like a last mon situation. You've got things like Shedinja. You've also got things like Haze on Vaporeon. Yeah, and Encore as well. So it's not at danger of one of those like big things in DPP that can catch people out. Makes sense because Impulse knows the tier pretty well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I like the fact that you have a good stealth rockers on this team with Infernape,
That's true.
Celebi, Claydol, potentially not a really good stealth rocker, but can still click it. Registeel, like I like the fact that you can just get up rocks pretty easily, and they're hard to take out. Well, you lack a ghost type, but you don't have spikes either, so I don't think you're like that mad about that. So that I like the outside of the spikes, aforementioned spikes issue, the hazards are pretty alright.
One thing I will say, this team gets absolutely owned by Infernape, which normally doesn't matter, but there is somebody else with an Infernape because of the way that we did the draft.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
yeah.
I just noticed that. Just a nice little quip. It's not like it's a bad team though. Like it will definitely rack up wins. Things like Snorlax can be hard to handle for other teams, especially if you get into a position where you've taken out those key pieces, like aggressively trading mons. So I don't think they'll do poorly with this draft. But it has, high highs, low lows.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because you've got the healing wish with Celebi, or just like heal bell Vaporeon or Celebi again, just to be able to get back your Snorlax.
100%.
Yeah, my line of thinking is that a lot of pressure is put on this Infernape and this Snorlax to do really good, but if he can like manage using them perfectly alongside this good defensive core that he has, I think there is a chance that this team will do extremely well. And I think the team's success mostly comes down to if this Snorlax or Infernape can go pop off and get the kills they need to get to win the games, then this team is gonna do good. But if they aren't utilized to the maximum, it's gonna struggle a tad bit, is what I'm thinking personally.
That's a fair take, I think.
Yeah. So, what do you guys rate the team out of 10? I will let you two go ahead first.
It's hard to come up with a rubric with the first team.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfectly fine team.
Yeah.
It's almost a little bit boring in a way, but does have some issues. I want to go like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking 6.5 actually. Just makes sense.
Yeah.
Just
That
like
fits exactly.
Denmark, yeah.
6.5. Let's start with that, and we can edit them later as we go on. Yep. So, now into Coconut, and I love this team personally a lot, but I'll let you guys tell what you guys think first, because I see some funnies, and I really like it personally.
Let me stick
I mean,
everything
first
in
you got
first.
the Metagross, pretty good pick.
Yeah, Metagross is the best Pokemon in the format. So that always sets you up well in that regard.
Yeah.
Because it's also very versatile. It can go mixed. It can go physical. It can also like dual screens. and
Yeah,
things like that. But this is a really top-heavy draft,
yeah, it is.
which
Yeah,
makes it somewhat predictable. You have like two big mixed threats though. So I think it's a predictable draft, but it's a really strong draft.
yeah. So, what I like first of all is that I really like the combination of Metagross, Flygon, and Aerodactyl here, and the Houndoom even. So you have extremely good physical offense here, combined with a Houndoom potentially. Well, that's not that real, but the arrow to click the rocks and potentially sweep games with its 150 speed and adamant use, and Metagross to click those choice banded attacks or whatever it wants to do because it has so like 2 million sets, and then the Flygon being able to pivot into a more special role if needed, or the physical Dragon Dancer that we adore in this format. I
Dragon
really
Dance. It doesn't have Dragon
It,
Dance this gen.
yeah, it
oh, it did no
doesn't.
Dragon Dance. That is extremely
Nope.
bold.
It's like Gen 8.
It got it in Gen
No
5.
Dragon
Good.
Dance this gen.
Oh. Oh. But even still, clicking like just banded U-turns or earthquakes or being a choice scarfer here, clicking those EQs, rocks, and or being the mixed attacker, that it can be well base 80 special attack is kind of good, but well not kind of bad, but it can still certainly do it because it has the move pull to pull it off. So I really like that combination of offensive pressure that the opponent is put under.
Yeah, I
I
think I would appreciate more pivots because like it really is just that
yeah,
Flygon with U-turn.
and Leafeon technically has like Wish
The
and
contest.
Baton
Yeah.
Pass, which it can use. But I think that Leafeon's going to be stuck being a supportive role here. Like it can't really run the sets it wants to run with like Swords Dance, which is what you usually really want to run on a Leafeon. But it is a good pivoting pick for this team if you think about its like defensive profile of like Metagross and Aero, which are going to be drawing in like water moves and ground moves respectively. Like it does. I think if it didn't have Leafeon, this draft would be really rough. But it is top heavy. Like I don't know how often you're gonna be able to bring Pineco, in which case you don't have as many hazards as it looks on paper.
Yeah, I'm again mentioning the lack of like a real spiker, and
It is
even
hard in DPP though.
yeah, it is luxury. It is not as common as it would be in black and white, for example. Um, so the rockers are good though. That I will give.
Yeah,
Like Metagross, Flygon, Clefable, Arrow. Like good for
Flygon
good.
doesn't have rocks.
Oh,
Yeah, Flygon doesn't get rocks nor
bro,
Dragon
bro,
Dance.
what the fuck is this?
Flygon doesn't get these
Why
moves
why is
in.
Flygon? Okay, Flygon is mid as fuck
Flygon's
itself.
just offensive and roost.
Uh,
Flygon has like three sets: choice, mixed, and like sub toxic. It does have all the pieces that it wants though, outside of pivoting. Like pivoting's that big weakness for it. It's got like some decent speed tiers. You've got this kind of gulf between Rotom and Metagross, but I don't think that's too much of an issue because most of your team's going to be outspeeding then anyway. I feel like this team should have gotten Hippopotas over some of the other options later on
yeah.
in the draft, just because of how much it helps Aero. But anyway, the other issue with this team is that you've got your only real physically defensive Pokemon are weak to really common mixed offensive types, which means that the defensive profile of this team is really held together by Clefable, which is fine, but is dangerous. That said, this team's super scary. Like, super scary. It's got so much, like, power out of the box that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think it kind of like, well, it's a 7-month draft after all, so it trades in like all the possibilities on defensive profile, and it goes all in into this physical offense with Metagross, Aero, and Flygon, and that is in, how I know Coconut. That is his kind of playstyle. I will grant him that he is known for it, like going all in with his high powered drafts. He pulled that off in last season's Serenity with his black and white draft. Very similar in concept last year and or last time, and that this looks like a Coconut draft. If Reapple can confirm that, or if
I've got no other Star Wars.
But this is certainly a Coconut draft, so I don't think it's as good as Impulse's draft. Now that you guys have mentioned the parts that you do have, but it is a very threatening draft overall.
I actually think it's better than Impulses by
Is
a
it?
decent chunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Its
like,
downside is
power.
being predictable, but not every team is going to be able to take advantage of that either, because it's just got so much power on that side. Like, it's really feast or famine, but I think it's more effective feast or famine than Impulses.
Yeah.
Like, really needing to get in those cleaners.
Don't really have anything else to say about this. Maybe I would give it a 7, 6.5-ish, that area.
I was thinking 7.5, but 7 works, I guess.
Yeah, same.
I
Agreed.
think that there's not going to be too many better drafts than
Yeah.
this. Just because DPP is a really difficult draft format. So I kind of want to give it 7.5. Because I think that this is a good draft, even though it's got some issues. But those can be beaten with good play. So it's not like it's a... Yeah.
And Apple.
Yeah, agreed. Like 7.5 sounds good.
Okay.
I feel like if we don't get anything, we could push it up to V8, but like, no, 7.5.
Yeah.
It is the second team we're looking at. That's true.
Yeah, we have over 14 teams to go over.
Cool.
So, Louis Rinaldi.
Oh, I've
My
played
God,
this team
the
already.
late game cleanup in this team.
This team is a nightmare to fight.
Jesus Christ!
It was. I played this.
Like, I can only him having Machamp, which is already a funny mon, and then Suicune and Cresselia, just casually.
Umbreon for that heal bell.
Yeah.
This team is full of defensive behemoths and is going to be a nightmare for a lot of teams to beat.
The main problem I found with it is like the only spinner being Fortress is like pretty exploitable if you can just spin block it. I guess I did have Spiritomb, which is pretty good into it, but like other than that, it's very good defensively. Also, no electric resist.
Yeah, no, it does have like mons that don't really care, like Zapdos and Cresselia and Umbreon in general. There's no good like physical electrics really. So I don't think that's that much of an issue because it kind of exploits the metagame in a sense.
Yeah.
Because like no electric type is really breaking through Umbreon or Cresselia on its own.
Yeah.
I think
It
like
doesn't matter too much.
Magnezone did a pretty good job, but like that's just very specific.
Yeah. Because it also resists a lot of the attacks that you would be throwing at it. So
Yeah.
that is kind of the exception to the
And I
rule.
don't think it got picked up in the other draft, so like it's just one matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
what I'm thinking is that well, this isn't a high-powered draft in terms of offense, and that's like the true breakers kind of go at Machamp and Arcanine to a point, and Arcanine is kind of bad due to the bad stealth rock weakness. To click those flare blitzes, I don't think it does it even get it this generation. I think
does.
It does, okay. Yeah, so you're kind of relying on those two to really pull it off, alongside with spikes. Forest spikes are real, and I understand the vision completely though. So the idea is to to bait out the offensive mons and really like punch holes with Machamp, the Arcanine, the Forest Rest spikes, and then you pull off the sweeps with either Cresselia or Suicune in the end games, where you just counter sweep the entire teams after they have been weakened to a point where a Calm Minder of that caliber cannot be stopped in any sort of like way. So I understand the vision, and I think it's a very good take on like a DPP draft from what I have seen.
Yeah, this team is very strong for a draft because you require a lot of the same tools to deal with all of the threats late game after you've gotten your positionality, after you've gotten your layers of spikes down with Fori. I think this is probably one of, if not the best draft we're going to see. Because while it does lack some of that breaking, you do have breakers in Zapdos and Machamp. And then you've got backup for that. You've got things like Cresselia with Lunar Dance. You've got Heal Bell. You've got Wish. You've got all of those tools that you want for this type of team. Like, it's a really cohesive draft. And it's also difficult to prep for because so many of these mons can run so many different sets. Like, that's just what happens when you have Zapdos and Cresselia and Arcanine all on the same team. I think the one weakness of this team is that it doesn't have a lot of good leads.
Yeah, maybe
in a draft
Yeah,
metagame. Like
Machamp.
Yeah, it's just
Machamp is a great lead, but Machamp is also
In
really easy
matchups,
to answer if
yeah.
you know it's coming.
Yeah.
That's why it's so good why it was so good in like DPP OU is because it was really difficult to handle it plus other leads. But in this team, like Fori is exploitable, Machamp's exploitable in the lead, Pinsir is relatively exploitable in the lead as well. And those are your three main leads. Otherwise, you're leading one of your mons that you don't really want to be bringing out so early. So that's kind of the main issue with the team, but I also don't think it's that big of an issue at all either.
You can just lead like do a Gen 5 draft, Gen 3 draft moment and lead the Suicune, and that's perfectly acceptable if it has to match up into like Arrow or the lead in.
It also doesn't matter either.
Yeah.
Because Cresselia has Lunar Dance.
Yeah, exactly. I would give it this a 9.
I think you would.
Oh yeah.
9.
I think you would want another Stealth Rocker though. Just like outside of Fortress, Pinsir, those are the only two hazard mons. You don't want to bring Pinter to Forge versus Spikes.
I mean,
But like,
Furry
yeah,
is
it does
very
look good otherwise.
reliable, but will be caught by like stray HP fires or just strong special attacks. But yeah, this team has answers because like Arcanine Flashfire is going to absolutely wreck some things. But yeah, I really like this draft. I think this draft is insane.
Yeah, a terrifying one.
I'm happy with a 9.
Yeah, I think it's a 9. It's not a 10 out of 10, and it can't be because, yeah, it has some of the aforementioned issues, but in all honesty, this might be as good as you get with a DPP draft, even in 8 pool, because the pool of mons is so limited.
True.
And do you have anything to say?
No, not really. I think I am slightly biased to put it down since I've already played it, but like, no, 9's good.
Yeah. All right, then we have Koi, and this is
Just putting everything in for the next
one.
one.
A weird one. This I think it's good, but it's bad.
I like how you got one of the best spin blockers and then just spikes.
This team has
I
defensive
appreciate
profile
that.
issues.
It does, yeah.
I think that's the first major thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah, like your Skarmory T-Tar Votem's just gonna get one down.
Yeah. Like, you have such a glaring fire weakness. And you've got 0 rock switch-ins. Like, this is a team that will get ruined by something like the mixed Flygon and things that we were talking about earlier. Like, you've got some counterplay with things like Ice Shard, but it's going to die long-term to hit and runs.
yeah, I put down Infernape and Flygon as example ones because this team's Infernape matchup seems miserable. Like
It really is.
I don't think how you can beat Infernape unless you get like safe.
You need to be
with Zam.
You need to be running like a defensive Rotom, but then the Rotom's gonna die to like nasty plot Fire Blast or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's a rough draft because it's just got these exploitable weaknesses.
What I do like is that it has Rotom and Roserade and Skarmory, so the hazard stacking is kind of good. But
oh yeah, definitely.
So the hazards are definitely good, but then you have like you have these good elements in Fury, in Alakazam and Cloyster, but Cloyster is pitiful at being a defensive water because it has those glaring weaknesses, the Stealth Rocks and fighting weakness, and Zam doesn't have Magic Guard in this generation yet, so it isn't hazard immune. So what I see is that if someone locks in like opposing spikes and they just decide to abuse your team, that you are forced to switch in a lot over the game, you're just hard. You cannot do anything about that, and that's a major glaring issue I have because your spinner is Cloyster, and that's not clicking a spin into anything reliably without leaving itself open to heavy attacks, and it might get like one spin off or a game into...
You also don't have Wish or any pivoting on this team. I think the only pivot move on this entire team is Skarmory Baton Pass.
Explosion.
Yeah, technically, but Cloyster's kind of the thing that you want to get in nicely so that you can reset hazards. And also, you don't want to be booming into a ghost and then having to have like Tyranitar dying to like a Focus Blast or a Heracross not being able to hit it. Yeah, I don't like this draft very much. It needs some amount of pivoting. It's pivoting entirely based on like defensive stats rather
Yeah.
than and some type immunities rather than anything that's actually going to gather momentum. So things like mixed attackers and like substitute attackers are going to rip this to shreds and then it gets cleaned.
Yeah.
Your speed tiers are also really, really bad. You've only got one mon above that hits 90,
Yeah.
like above 90 in Zam. Everything else is below that 100 mark, and there's so many mons that are great that are at that 100 mark, and you only have Alakazam to handle them.
Yeah. So yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this because this draft has such glaring weaknesses. Uh, the only good part that I found is that the good hazards part, but then there's the everything else which that you outlost rocks, whirlwind, phasing, and you don't even have a good setup mon to like even do any damage because this draft doesn't even have a lot of damage outside of T-Tar. Maybe Nasty Plot Rotom. Maybe I would. Zam doesn't do damage in this format.
if
Maybe
this was my team, I'd drop the Cloyster for like a War Turtle. I'd
yeah,
drop the Kecleon for a offensive pivot normal type, like a Perugly or something like that. It
yeah,
won't fix the draft, but it would make it a lot nicer and playable. It's got some bigger weaknesses than that, but that would be my like absolute first step in fixing this draft.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking too. So the Heracross, I guess they they have like
Heracross is a great mon. It's just not supported by this team.
yeah because that needs pivoting to like really do anything.
Yeah, Heracross will punch holes in a team, but it has stabs that are exploitable, which means that you really need it behind a sub or to get it in an advantageous position.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
it's a
have a
really
Yeah,
great
and
mon. I
especially with
drafted it as well, but
I love Heracross, but like here it just feels like sometimes just walks into Choice Scarf due to the team speed.
yeah, yeah.
so I'm thinking like a 4.
I was gonna say 3.
That sounds good. Yeah,
I was also going to say 4,
let's
Let's do
go.
4 then,
but like we could just do
or
three and a
three and a
half. I don't
half.
mind.
Let's say 3.5 sounds good.
Cool.
Then last instance, Serenity Division winner Kind Rock. Uh, like I'll stay silent on this one before I share my thoughts. You guys go ahead.
There's only so many 4 times weaknesses that you can have on a team.
Just diversifying the hidden powers.
It's weird. Let me have a good look at it though. Read your words first.
No, I'm just getting onto my dock real quick.
Same. It does have multiple spinners.
It does.
One of
This
them's
is
fake though.
Or at least
this is
it's
a
there
weird
for
ass
Dragonite.
draft. This is a weird. It's so weird.
It is exceptionally weird. This is a... It's got like decent fundamentals. You've got to switch into every type. You've got relatively good speed tiers. But then you've got all of these weaknesses that are easy to like run multiple of these attacks on one mon.
Yeah, a famous thing that in black and white draft is a big thing. The big thing is bolt Bolt Blast Thunderbolt
Yeah.
coverage, and this just looks miserable into any special attacking mon that can bring like ice coverage plus fire coverage. So the Infernape, for example, looks absolutely terrifying here.
I'll tell you why Infernape's terrifying here. Because it hits all 3 of those 4 times weaknesses because it gets
Yeah.
Grass Knot too.
Like,
Um, yeah, this team has a lot of physical potential in like its ability to create sweeps, and Frostlass definitely sets that up well because it's one of, if not the best spiker in the tier. You have Pursuit in Drapion as well to help with Hitman top, getting spins off to protect your mons that are pivoting. It's not a bad draft. You're forced to run Swampert every match, and you're forced to run Stealth Rock Swampert
yeah,
every match, which is a big issue because sometimes you want to be running things like against like a Clefable team, like a Sub Punch or something,
yeah,
or like Choice Band or Choice Specs, especially Choice Specs on this team.
to be fair, D-Knight can do sub punch pretty effectively, so it just changes the role of D-Knight from the potential Dragon Dance sweeper maybe into a more breaking role in a way, but it's most famous for the outrageous, yeah, I think.
This team also doesn't have a true steel type. Like
Yeah,
Scizor gets, every dragon has fire coverage.
yeah,
Scizor usually KOs them all with Choice Band, Bullet Punch, but it's tricky to get it in. But you do have really good pivoting with Scizor, and Jolteon's a very good pivot with Bat and Pass as well. So like this team is going to be needed to be piloted really well. But if it's piloted really well, it'll do really well. It'll do great.
yeah.
But if it's not piloted well, it is relatively easy to pick apart. But this is definitely setting yourself up for success if you think you're a better player than everyone else.
Average draft experience, just play better.
Yeah. If you play better, you'll win with this team. That's pretty simple.
Yeah. So good spikes.
I don't really
that's a
know
lot
what
of priority
Meganium and Torkoal are doing on this team,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Mm.
So it's another kind of falsely top-heavy team because you've only really got 7 playables. Torkoal's really hard to run in.
Meganiums are just a buff that you
PvP.
have a water switching.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's also dual screens for Dragonite, but yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a weird.
Which is
draft.
probably why they picked it, because it's got dual screens, but...
Yeah.
I think this is a fine draft.
Yeah,
It's
a 7. 7 or...
Yeah, 7 is really easy.
Yeah.
I think 7's really easy. It sits between the 6.5 and the 7.5 that we did.
Yeah,
I think
this is it. This screams that I think I'm God and I will own fucking everyone with this D-Knight. But
okay, but if Kingdrock does play really well, then they will. So
yeah, you better play good, Kingdrock. You better go back to back with this team, or you're banned. No, well, I'm joking. Endless, the goat himself. What do we think? Well,
Wow, it's a
Let me
good
see
team.
this in.
Who could have guessed?
yeah, Endless.
yeah, I know.
Well.
You've got the
Who could have
you've got
seen
some of the most classic combos ever on this team. How did they get round 3 Gengar though? And round 4 Donphan. They got everything they could have wanted.
Yeah, and the Gyarados too, and the Quillfish. Like this screams that I am experienced at this format and I know everything. Like,
This team immediately looks really good.
yeah, it's really good. Is it better than Lurinaldis? Is the real question. It might be, or it's tied at least.
I would say yeah, because like it's
I think
just
so. It's
actually
got
having
everything you
offense.
need.
Yeah, so everything is well thought out here. The Gengar as the high speed option. Shaman is a good base 100, so an Electrode potentially, and so you have your speed steers are extremely good. I think that's what it screams to me at first.
Yeah, the speed tiers are really good. There's only really one weakness for this team, and that's a lack of pivoting.
Yeah, that's true.
You do have some really effective things though, like Shaman Healing Wish, and just mons like that can switch in on stuff and then get work done, like Quillfish, who can come in, get a poison point, poison off, threaten something out, and then boom. Like, it's got all the tools that you need for it.
Yeah.
You've also got the classic combo of Shaman and Heatran, which is used in OU as well.
I need to check something real quick, because it will change my opinion on this draft a tad bit, if it does have it.
Something that major.
Yeah.
What is it? I'll probably be able to tell you.
Okay, it does not. Yeah. If Electro does not have screens, which would have been really appreciated here, because it is such a fast mon, clicks those screens up. But that is perfectly reasonable, though. You have Sableye for the screams. Does it have them? I think so.
It doesn't have Prankster though, if
Yeah,
I'm
it
correct
doesn't have
about that.
Prankster.
Yeah, it doesn't have Prankster.
But
what it does have is Stall.
Yeah. I love the
So you get to
Gyarados
last.
here. I love it.
Gyarados is really well helped here with the spikes and the
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the healing
that
wish
has
as
its
well.
control.
Like this Gyarados is extremely well supported, and I would not be surprised if it would farm kills over the season, because it is such well supported with the Heatran, Shaman, Gengar, Donphan for the spin, and Quillfish for the spikes. Like, this should not have any issues to playing off over the season and get those kills that this team demands to get. I like this.
Yeah, this is a balanced team with Gyarados cleaning, and it's going to be really effective at that.
Yeah, and I like the Steelix pickup here, just for the DNAT matchup, just in case. So you are forcing special fire coverage on it, or something of that kind, because it just will sit on it otherwise, and use roar and use click stealth rocks, and I like the inclusion of it here, and obviously the Electrode for the fast pivoting, and I have the team builder open for the fast explosion, I guess, and potentially like subtoxic.
It's also a really good just neutral. Electrode's a really good neutral lead because it's got that such fast taunt, and it's got explosion.
Yeah.
It's going to always do something in the lead slot.
Like, yeah, the aforementioned, the only issue I have is that the pivoting is kind of bad, and
the pivoting is bad. You're relying on type advantages, but you have a really, unlike some of the other teams, you have 1 to 2 really solid switch-ins for every offensive type that could be coming at you.
Yeah.
Like nothing is not covered
Immediately
twice.
gonna win the game.
Yeah.
Nothing's like you always have like a switch into whatever you want at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with type berries, especially like even this Heatran can just Shuka, and the Gyarados can go electric resist berry if you really need it into like a Raikou or something like that. And
At
yeah,
least one game is going to be is going to be over in 7 turns, and it's going to be Electrode, Rain Dance, Boom, and Quillfish just kills everything.
yeah,
At least
okay,
one game.
at least one game, yeah, yeah. I
You know what I'm hoping for? They have 5 explosion mons. That's what I'm
kaboom,
saying.
gaming, kaboom. We we going on with
That's their pivoting. Their
fireworks.
pivoting is Boom.
Yeah,
5
pivoting is boom.
explosions, 1 with Gyarados. That's what you need.
Yeah, yeah. This is better than Ronaldo's, and we gave that a 9. So I will
I
give
think this is a 9.5.
Yeah, this is not
Yeah.
the perfect draft, but it's pretty much the closest you're gonna get. Like this.
Yeah, this is an insane draft.
I
Really,
like,
really good.
let's be real. This is endless after all. So like, what would you expect from the goat himself of the format? What the
That's all right. We're about to go to the worst team in the draft, so that's fine.
oh man.
Yep.
Oh,
I know who's next.
Reapple. Yay. Oh,
I
so-
just
oh, this
let
is
me
a
put it
draft
in.
for sure.
Yeah. Do you like the monochrome colors?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's all blue and purple.
Okay, okay. Stop fucking around. What I do like about this draft is that I like the Asolf, Kingdra, plus Lucario form like a really good offensive core. Because due to their mixed offense, so you can go either way. Like you can go Lucario Sword Stance, or you can go fucking Rain Dance on Kingdra for a special or even physical. You can go Hard Choice Band, Azelf, or Choice Specs, or Life Orb, or mixed coverage. Like you have so many options with these three that it is hard to prepare any like defensive core for this trio of months, and then you have supported it pretty well. Like your pivoting is
Yeah, you've
kind
got
of
things like
solid.
you've got your spikes, you've got your spin blocking. You also managed to get one of the foresight spinners, which helps a lot. And you've got one of the probably the best budget support for hyper offense in Why Not, which I know that I argued a lot in the DPP Ubers season on your server, Ree,
Yeah.
about how
I
good
remember
Why
that,
Not
yeah.
is. Why Not is insane. For those that don't know, even without a Eviolite, so in DPP, Why Not lives Rayquaza Outrage.
What the fuck?
KOs it with
Counter.
it KOs it with
I'm pretty sure
counter
you
and
convinced me to
then
put it up like to 5, 6, 7, 8 points or something.
yeah, because then it gets to cust up Destiny Bond, which is insane. Anyway, this is a hyper offense team that will do hyper offense things.
Yeah, and like, I mean, it is a hyper offense team, so it can be somewhat unreliable in what it is doing. I like the week 1 game against Louis Rinaldi where you pulled off some funnies with the Spiritomb and you showed that you can play it in a more like slower approach,
Cool.
and that is perfectly fine with the Spiritomb and the Gliscor. Well, Gliscor doesn't have the famous Poison Heal in this generation, but it still has Roost as, I think. Does
Yeah.
it have Roost? Yeah, it has Roost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And
It has enough tools.
yeah, I will have to mention that Bolt Blast Beam is fucking insane into you. Like, you don't have any reliable switch-ins to Bolt Ice Blast outside of the Kingdra, and maybe Spiritomb to a point, but even I think Infernape
Spirit
can
Tomb can't do anything back is the issue.
yeah, Infernape can eat attacks, or well, it can eat up a Psychic from a Spiritomb and then just fire back even more. So that's something you have to be aware of. But really like the Lucario pickup in here in specific because it gives that strong priority to beat some of the bigger threats that you have, like the Infernapes in the late game, or something like opposing Stamies, which and so you have like that one click at least with like Choice Band Lucario or Swords Dance Lucario to help out.
Even special Lucario does work
Yeah,
with this team.
yeah,
Yeah, there are certain specific mons that are going to be tricky for this team, but
uh,
why not holds that together really well because you can remove that thing. This requires some good piloting, but also Ree's good enough to pilot it.
yeah,
I actually like some of the lack of type diversity here, especially with things like water, with water spam, with like someone's gonna get caught out by Specs Water Spout Blastoise or something like that with Kingdra in the
Yeah,
back.
just like weaken something for Kingdra. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was gonna say
You've also
Magnezone is
got
solely there because like lose to any bulky water that with like refresh.
that checks out. You also have multiple screens users as well, which is huge for a mon like Lucario.
yeah.
This is an offensive team. So it's
Yeah.
gonna have holes because it's an offensive team and that's what they do.
Yeah. I was almost surprised that you didn't get cleaned up by a Suicune in the game you had against Ronaldo. And
I don't know why I just wasn't going Magnezone on it. Like that should to it KO even after a calm mind.
yeah, but yeah, that is what I will. It's an offense team or hyper offense, so it's never gonna be a perfect 10 and neither
No.
9. I think like this. I think for what it is, it's a solid 8 out of 10.
I was gonna go 7 or 7.5.
7.5 sounds reasonable enough. Yeah, yeah. It's a good for what it tries to be. I think
It's really hard to rate
yeah,
offense teams like this higher.
yeah. Let's go with
But
7.5.
then they go in like 9-0 a league. So
Why? Yeah, into that. Oh my, holy! This is fast. This goes fast.
this is a weather team in disguise.
Yeah,
Actually, the thing about this team is that so many of these mons can run so many different sets that I think this is going to be really difficult to prep for.
yeah,
And I think that's to its benefit. It also means that nothing is particularly stellar, like it lacks a bit of breaking, but it gets around that with creativity.
yeah.
That's that kind of trade-off it took.
Yeah. In and what already you can, what screams to me is that this is fast. Like this, nothing is gonna be faster than this draft naturally, without good choice scarf use. So you can afford some like novelties, like using Life Orb Starmie often, or a Ring Calm Mind Raigo, because you have this Crobat factor you have to account for, and the potential rain angle from Bronzong and Poliwrath because you can just explode with Bronzong and then go in with Poliwrath and then just sweep games with Damp Rock.
One thing I will say is that this team doesn't particularly like strong special attackers with psychic coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got 3 poison types.
Yeah.
You do. Zong is a 4
At least
times
not being
weight
affected by
resist,
type.
but yeah, that's true. But Starmie is not as bulky as you might think. And so it's just Bronzong, which it has a lot of stress on it in this draft to do a lot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the linchpin.
Does Raiko get bottom pass?
No.
No.
Then the pivoting is kind of mid as fuck. Because
Yeah,
you're
you're basically using Crobat all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially how easily, like, a ground type can just chase out Raikou or Entei. Just always having to go
Yes.
Crobat, getting weakened by Vox.
Yeah. That's why there's so much stress on this Bronzong to do really well.
Yeah. That's what I'm marking too. And what I'm also marking is that the physical offense is barely existent. It kind of relies, when you're not using weather, it kind of relies on this Entei to really do anything. And because Nidoqueen doesn't have a Sheer Force yet, I think. I need to double check.
Nope. Not yet. Has Poison Point and Ravelry.
Yeah, you kind of like damage here. And you're entirely relying on this Starmie, and which isn't that strong on its own. And Raikou to really do the damage here, because Entei is an unreliable breaker, and it isn't even that strong because, let's just check.
Entei also has no coverage.
Yeah,
in this gen.
It literally is just Flare Blitz, and that's it. And if you want to run that, Rain Angle potentially it cannot even do. Well, it doesn't even have mornings on this this generation, which yeah, this physical offense is non-existent here. So it lacks damage, and it kind of relies on this Roselia being able to spike, and that's not something you really want to bring to every game.
This
is a 3-pointer.
This is a high... I think Toxic Spikes are being brought to almost every game. Whether it's Nidoqueen or Roselia, it's coming a lot because you need it to help wear down and break Mons. Yeah, the team lacks the power to break through things, as you said. That's its biggest issue. I think if it had like wish support for the Bronzong and for the Dusknoir, it'd be a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
I think it needs to like lean in more to the offense or lean in more to the defense. But like now it's just in a mid ground, but like not balanced.
Yeah. This is a hard team to rank, in my opinion. But
if this team brings Manual Sun, it is kind of scary though.
Yeah, it can do that.
Because Entei punches holes, Raikou gets Weather Ball.
Yeah.
Crobat starts to have things like Nasty Plot, Heat Wave, and things like that. So there's options there to go offensive with it, but it's a big risk if you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is like a 5.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the epitome of a 5 team.
Really?
Yeah, I was checking what we put for everything else. 5 seems good.
Okay.
We haven't got like a 5, so like just having an average team.
Well, alright, that is done with the Pool 1 team, so now we are switching back to Pool 2, or going into
So
Pool
now we get
2.
to see all of these Pokemon again.
Yay! Rhodey!
Another
Oh,
Infernape.
no Infernape here, it is a Dragonite
Oh,
first pick in this pool. Oh god. Well, I dislike this team, but
You dislike this team?
I dislike this team, yeah.
I actually kind of like this team.
I would not wipe it with
It has some really bad things going on with it, but it also has a lot to like.
I think it's kind of goofy.
Yeah,
It is goofy.
It is
Yes.
goofy, yeah. It exists. Uh,
It's fun in that it can either be a weather team or an offense team.
yeah. In why I groaned like instantly is that okay, let's start with the good. The hazards are really good, like obviously because you have a fortress, a swamp or a
Two
pterodactyl,
spikers,
quillfish. You have
one of
like
the better
extremely good.
stealth upgrades.
Like these are extremely good hazards. Like 2 spikers.
You also have multiple spinners as well, who are both good in different matchups.
Yeah.
So you're winning hazard wars,
Yeah,
like all the time.
You are not losing those. Like Kabutops and Foray are both good at doing that, and you can go rain angle with the Kabutos, and it's kind of fun.
And Quillfish.
Yeah, and Quillfish, yeah. And Denied, I guess, because that can run special coverage. But why I groaned instantly is that, like, this team does not take EQs at all, or strong ground types just instantly annihilate this team, because your ground immunes are weak to raw coverage. So you have Arrow and D-Knight, and at the moment this team is like a Flygon, it's just killing itself because
Yeah, it's gonna have some issues.
I mean, like your effective ground switching is just Swampert Fortress if it
Yeah.
can.
and
get dropped
yeah,
out.
and opposing dragons looks. Yep, is everything all right?
Second then.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, opposing dragons look kind of terrifying into this too, because it is just really for to look after.
Hmm.
So yeah, the aforementioned Flygon and opposing D-Knight, and I guess well Altaria isn't real, but maybe the Kingdra, because this foray has to do 2 million things at one time. If it wants to keep this team together in the defensive side. So
Also, your best special defensive mon is Dragonite.
yeah, it like, and the aforementioned bolt blast beam coverage issues that you have, like opposing Starmie looks really good, Infernape looks fucking insane into you. Holy hell, why is every draft just insanely weak to Infernape?
It can't be that weak to Infernape. It has Quillfish.
It has Quillfish, I guess, but that's then it's that gets worn down because this doesn't have.
It does get worn down.
It gets worn down, and then the Infernape is just goes hard. That's what I'm.
And this is
thinking
bringing Rindo Swampert 7 out of the 9 weeks. 7 weeks at least.
Yeah.
Rindo Swampert. This is another one of those offense teams that you can't really rate on its defensive profile because it's just going to be throwing whatever it can.
Yeah.
It sets up hazards with whichever mon it brings for the hazards, and then just throws offensive mons at you. So, like, the vision is there. I think it's a little bit worse of a version than, say, I think Reese has got way more tools for setting up. Yeah, I think it has issues in that it's really hard for it to set it, like it doesn't, it's not going to be setting up screens. It's not going to
Yeah,
be...
completely. Like the Alakazam for like something better in that slot.
Yeah,
Just because I don't
exactly.
think it's too well here.
I think this is going to be a scary team to face, but it's also not something crazy insane either.
All of its matches
But
is going to be like
it's
30
fun.
turns
I really
max.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a really fun team.
Yeah, it's a
I
fun
like it.
one. I would rate it's worse than Reapples, but it's still like a 7.
I was going to say 6.
6.
6.5?
6.5? Yeah. Great.
Do we think it's better or worse than Impulses? I think it's worse slightly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree with
Uh,
that
I then,
statement. 6.
then I'll trust you guys. I'll trust you guys because deleted user. Yay, meta grows. Yay, it's supported well. Yay, this is a draft. Okay, this is high end as fuck. What the fuck? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
this is top heavy.
This is top heavy as hell.
I do wish you had a bit more speed other than that per ugly, but like, yeah.
This is a weird one. It looked really good at first, but then I just started looking at it more, and then I'm like disappointed in many of the aspects it has. So yeah, obviously Metagross, Suicune, Shaman. Yeah, ideas there that you have Healing Wish for the Metagross potentially, or the Suicune. The your Ukes is playing off again for the late game sweep. I think. Am I wrong?
Sorry?
It's playing off for the late game sweepers with the Suicune and the Uxe to go alongside with the Shaman. Is what I'm
Yeah,
feeling.
this is like if you built a draft that was French offense,
Yeah.
which is a DPP archetype that usually leads Suicune with Healing Wish to just
Yeah.
like punch holes and then Carmine sweep later. This team has massive issues with special attackers as soon as Uxie is gone. Because it's got a massive, massive weakness to electricity, a massive, massive weakness to fire as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like get up rocks, which like hinder the removal anyway, so like then start clicking
Yeah.
buttons. They can't revenge you too well outside of like Shaman if it's faster,
Yeah.
but like only 100 speed.
And what I'm also
It does have momentum though.
Yeah, it has momentum, but the draft only really has like 6.5 months because Drift Flame is whatever and Cloister is whatever.
This team needs to bring Perugly every week, which
Yeah,
is not a good sign.
Yeah, like the speed tiers are straight up bad. Or rather, the high-end speed is bad.
Yeah, like Perugly has to come, one, because it's one of the only good leads, because you don't want to run Metagross as a lead on a team where it's the linchpin.
Oh.
You can lead Suicune, I guess, and Mamoswine, but Perugly is also your main pivoting and your speed. So it needs to come like every week, which is an issue.
Yeah. So if I had to
I
say
think
something,
it's a little bit more justified with the Bullet Punch and Ice Shard that you have, but like just to revenge if it's weak.
It's just this team is so hard to not get hit with super effective damage from anything fast.
yeah, and it's super weak into hazards.
Like Aero ruins this team, Raikou ruins this team. Like anything fast is going to mess this team up because you don't have the defensive profile to run such a slow team.
Yeah, this is what we mentioned in Infernape again for like the 10th time.
Yeah.
That's why I was bringing up different ones like Aerodactyl and Raikou.
Infinite memes because broken mom. Haha. Yeah, I think this relies way too much on the Metagross to pull the games off, and that's not a good sign, to say the least. So it's kind of like just you have to roll with it with Metagross.
Metagross has a hard time one-hit KOing a lot of things in this metagame.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of things that resist both its stabs plus Earthquake,
yeah,
which makes it hard. That said, it's going to be probably trying to set up Agili Gross most games,
yeah,
and it will win games off that. And it's got the Shaman to back it up, so it's not like it's a dire draft, it's just that it's going to be a really, really difficult draft to pilot.
Yeah, like ones are just stuck in certain roles here, but like a lot of these should be flexible, like the Metagross and the Shaman.
Like, Metagross and Shaman should be able to run a bunch of sets, but they're not going to be able to in this team.
yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. You guys can add into the board if you guys have something to say. That's what I wrote is what I'm thinking personally. Yeah, I don't have much to say.
I agree with this.
I think this is the worst draft that we have ranked so far. Even
What was the 3?
The Killer Impersonator, the Titar Votum Skarmory team.
Yeah.
I think this is worse.
Yeah, I think it's worse.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I would give it like a 3 at max.
2.5.
2.5 seems good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I'm sorry.
That's wild for a Metagross draft.
Yeah, it is. I think we have E-Man with Infernape. Yay! Second Infernape. So.
Now we don't have to mention that it loses to Infinite.
This team is scary.
It is scary, yeah. Scizor, wholly pivoting. Like, this has good pivots.
It also has the hazards to make that a nightmare too.
Yeah.
With Roserade, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 good Stealth Rockers and another half a decent
just like
one.
any in matchup.
And you have these Blastoise to really to provide this good spinner, so this hazarding core is just crazy. And you have a Rotom for a cracked spin blocker too, so like...
Yep. The other thing is that this is a team that will wear you down, use its mons effectively, and then Healing Wish me Sprit whichever thing it needs back.
Yeah.
Real scary.
I think this is a really well thought out. Like, the Infernape is perfectly utilized here. Like, yeah, it has to run specially. It has to be special most of the time due to the inherent lack of special coverage or power. But even like Mesprit is no joke in this format for like special moves because 105
Mesprit is able to run both physical and special and mixed.
Yeah.
It has an insane move pool.
Yeah, and 105 is nothing to slouch at. Like, isn't it quite literally more than Infernapes?
Yes,
no, yeah,
it has slightly higher attack and special attack than Infernape.
Yeah, like, it's no joke on this team. And Scizor obviously, to pull off those Choice Banded U-turns, for example. Like, I don't know how you're gonna out-momentum this team. Without like a true...
You can't out-momentum this team.
Yeah, this has this, like, I get the vision totally. It is playing off like out momentum or using momentum to its aid and beating out teams in that way with hazard chip, and then allowing this Infernape or Scizor to really like hand in those attacks with the bullet punches or the fire stabs or whatever. Like I get the vision totally, so I really like this team.
The only place this
My
team's going to have... Oh, sorry.
now you go on.
I was going to say there's only two kind of weaknesses asterisk for this team, and that's that it's relatively slow
Yeah,
and that it will struggle versus any team that's running waters plus a weather, in that your only switch-ins to waters are Blastoise and Roserade, neither of which have reliable recovery. But I also don't think that too many teams have drafted a Bomber Snow. It's really only Tyranitar.
yeah,
So, this team hates rain, though. That's its only real
yeah.
issue.
Quillfish
And
is
speed.
What I was
quite
going to
good.
say is, like, other than maybe Inferno, it doesn't have any immediately good breakers that can just force a KO early if they want. But, like, it can just, like, use the hazards.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Meesprit. Like, Expert Belt
Oh, yeah, that
Meesprit
too.
goes hard in this format. Also, Roserade Leaf Storm is nothing to scoff at either.
Yeah.
But you are right. Like, it's lacks a little bit of upfront, but it also doesn't really matter because this is a balanced draft anyway. And it's really, really good at that.
Yeah. So that's what I have written down. Good AF pivoting, good at hazarding, core playing off momentum given by the pivots, lacking instant speed here and lack some immediate power is what I have written down.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But
Okay.
Rotom Miltank is going to be a nightmare for so many teams. Really hardcore to break.
Uh, I
Anyways,
I would say
I love
this is
this
like
team.
an 8.5.
I think 8.5 is fair based on what we've ranked. I think even 9.
Yeah. Uh, in all honesty, I think this is better than Louis Rinaldi's team. I think this should be
I
like,
think I would give it 9 as well. I think it's fine having them both at 9.
I think it's
yeah,
about equal.
yeah. I would
Yeah.
maybe. Well, my own playstyle fits this more, so I'm obviously biased towards this, but because this is how I would probably do the draft if I had to draft in DPP. It's quite good, I think. Yep.
Lou Rinaldi's draft is more abusive of the DPP draft meta than
Yeah.
this team, but this team is more like by the book, if that makes sense. So I think them both being 9 is perfectly fine.
Yep. Now for Aiden with the Vietnam Voltorbs. Uh, well, spoilers ahead. This guy lost week 1. Did it? No, actually, I don't think it did. I don't remember actually. Uh, it's a weird draft. Like there's sleep. There's Bloom here.
Yeah, I remember them saying that they thought that they could use Sport, but they
Or
can't.
Yeah.
It's banned. But also, it's not like Breloom isn't a great mon,
Yeah.
especially in DPP.
Yeah.
This has a really good defensive profile, and this has really awkward middle speed tiers because you don't really want to be running speed on Tentacruel and Arcanine, so they're kind of fake speed tiers.
Yeah. So
You do
it's
have Azel, so you got the top end, but you've got this weird... It's almost like a gap between 100 and 70, which is a weird gap to have.
yeah. I would say that this draft kind of demands that this Zapdos is more offensive in nature due to the passivity of the Tentacruel, Registeel, and Spiritomb, and maybe the Arcanine. Uh, I think it has some. It's well thought out though, in the terms that Licky Licky this one of those weird mons that has this surprising amount of utility in a wish, healy bell, and
I like the wish here with mons like Registil and Tentacruel that are defensive mons that don't have reliable recovery. So I do quite like that. And Breloom does that as well with Leech Seed. It's very good at getting that off. So I like the defensive form of this team, but outside of Azelf, you don't have anything that's both fast and hitting hard. You've got hitting hard with Breloom and Rampardos, and you've got fast with Zapdos and Tentacruel, really. But outside Azelf, that's your only breaker.
yeah, and it's it ends up somewhat passive in my opinion. Like Registeel, Tentacruel, yeah, Spiritomb even, they are slow moving aspects.
Also,
even.
all your defensive pieces are weak to ground.
Yeah,
Your ground resistances are your offensive pieces,
yeah,
which is a bit of an issue.
The Breloom is asked to do a lot here, I think.
The
Because
Breloom almost needs to defensive Breloom
yeah,
a lot of the time.
like you're
It's the only electric resist.
And knowing that Aiden is in DFL and has other commitments, I just hope that he has the time to really use the EVs in this draft. That you need to think really well, because this team takes time to. It is not an easy one to prepare with unless you're like going really heavy with the stall aspect, and that's what I like give first. So I worry that Aiden won't be able to give his all for this draft because this demands a lot.
This is tricky to pilot.
Yeah, it is tricky
Definitely.
to pilot.
I think, but like, if you are playing in DFL, you probably do have at least some good enough amount of fundamentals just to make it work,
Yeah,
even if you don't have the time to EV properly.
yeah. So this is a heavy skill-based draft.
This will be pilot centric as well. We had another like pilot centric draft, like Impulse's draft was really pilot centric.
Yeah.
And I think that this is another pilot centric draft, which isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
It's got everything you need to. It's kind of boring in a way, which isn't actually a bad thing. Like it just ticks all the boxes. Ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got all of the pieces that you want. You've got momentum. You've got a spinner. You've got at least 2 decent stealth rockers, but really Azelf needs to be offensive in this team, so Registil's coming most of the time. You've got support. You've got a defensive backbone and support. It just is going to be really tricky to pilot this with mons versus mons like. I think Gyarados is tricky for this draft. I think Flygon's tricky for this draft. Some of those like mixed attackers, especially special missed attackers, are going to be difficult.
Yeah. And even something like Suicune looks kind of threatening in the end game after Zapdos has been worn out with like Stealth Rocks. It looks kind of threatening, or Cresselia, because it will kind of set up and sit on this team. And that's what I do worry about a tad bit, but it's acceptable. But it
does have a rough time into those like last mon sweepers like an Uxie, like a like a Cress.
And Aiden,
You're right.
I don't have really much to write about this in the good parts. It's like summed up in the good defensive profile, but you need
you can write boring in a good way.
Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, literally boring in a good way. But this should have gotten a spiker. Is that what I am thinking? Because for the defensive core like this, and you like so much offense, you will struggle into some of the bulkier ones, like Metagross, like opposing Metagross looks kind of annoying. And because Registeel gets worn down, like everything gets worn down, so you're really, really relying on this Tentacruel to really pull those spins off, and you don't really have your own hazards to put pressure on their own spinners. So
You do have a Spirit team that can pursue
yeah,
lock out, but
that only really extends
its
to like Star.
neutrality to Ghost is going to be rough.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You do
So
have
I don't think
that
there's too much more to say.
yeah, like 6. I would give it this like a 6.5 myself.
I was going to say 7. 6.5 is perfectly fine.
I don't think it's better than Impulses, but
Yeah.
like that's just my take.
Yeah, and Impulse got given 6.5 too.
I think 6.5 works.
Yeah, I would say
6.5
Impulse
is
is a tad bit better, but I like to go in increments of 1.05. So it will. I think Impulses will be ranked higher, just for the sheer fact that it has the higher highs. But
Yeah, that checks out.
yeah, it's just you need to focus when you're playing, but you're a DFL player, agent, so like I don't think that will be an issue, and you have played.
I think this
like,
will
BBVA.
overperform its rating.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. Well, yours now. This sucks ass. This,
Oh, time to shit
this is
talk.
1.1
Yeah.
1 out of 10 complete decks. We can move on. Okay. I'm joking. A weird draft.
I really
I don't
like
have
that top
momentum.
So again, you do have the Metagross, and
I don't have Metagross, no.
no.
No,
Heracross.
just T-Hog, Gengar.
Heracross, I meant.
Yeah.
Heracross, not Metagross. Heracross. I'm weird. I have this weird. This is a weird one because you have so many like utility options. In like Jolteon, Bronzong, and you have a potential 9 tails angle. I don't think it has Encore yet, but it has Will-O-Wisp, so you can burn the big physical attackers potentially coming your way. You are extremely weak to Infernape once again, which I would worry a lot about.
I mean, like Azu can switch in and just like threaten it out, or even just vote him.
Yeah. Like, Bolt Ice Beam, the Bolt Blast Beam looks kind of annoying for you. Because you're only Mon that really covers all 3 of those boxes. Or maybe if you count Bronzong. Well, you can definitely count Heat-Proof Bronzong. So it's T-Tar and Bronzong, and both of those are not good defensive options, or would prefer, at least this Tyranitar would prefer being offensive more cases than others. I don't think you should be using it defensively a lot unless it's like a heavy specific like Cress. Well, even Cress you have to go choice banded, but unless you have to like pursuit something in specific and you need to leave ahead, that's the extent I would go with your defensive EVs here. And your stealth rockers are obviously good. Like, this has good rockers, and Omastar for the spikes is good, so I like the Hazarding Core a lot.
Omastar is also almost always going to have the special defense boost from Rock.
Yeah. I think the speed tiers are thought out particularly well. Like Gengar for the real high end. I guess we can count Jolteon. Jolteon's real in DPP, I guess. And the pivoting...
Yeah, it's like good enough with hidden power.
Yeah, it's good enough. The pivoting lacks because you're really relying on this Jolteon.
Yeah, that's true. I do have poor pivoting. That is definitely something that is an issue.
But like a lot of the team do just have immunities or just enough bulk to switch in.
Yeah. In all honesty, I don't see how you get this Heracross in in a lot of these matchups, but in like, well, it depends on some of these because in like into like Aiden, you can definitely get it in because they just lack this offensive pressure to put on it. But into like the more offensive ones, the hyper offensive ones, I don't think you can really get the Heracross in like into like well, not
But
Emac.
like with
I
T-Tar,
do,
I think
yeah.
you can just
into like
with T-Tar, I
Rory.
think you can pretty much viably get in the get a Heracross endgame with like Scarf or something.
Yeah. So, but I like that you have a lot of options in what you can do because even this Gengar can be like sub wisp, it can be explosion lead. Uh, you have a lot of options in this draft in terms of like the leads or and the set variety. So that's a good part to note that you can kind of do. It's a pain in the ass to prepare for this team. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I went for a lot of like high variability mons. Like I have, I wanted to have, I knew that I wanted Victory Bell as soon as I got Tyranitar
Yeah,
because I wanted to have the Victory Bell that can take out flying types with Weather Ball.
yeah.
And
So
so I think my just coverage on a lot of my mons is going to be really difficult to switch into a lot of my things. So I want to be on the offensive with it. But that was my like ethos behind my draft.
yeah, and as I mentioned, opposing Infernape seems kind of annoying for you. Because you're kind of forced into the heat-proof Bronzong in those matchups, which I think is perfect.
Mhm.
It's which is totally fine. It is like it is an option you have to consider. And traditionally, Bronzong is most known for its levitating, but heat-proof is a damn good ability at that, preventing its fire weakness. But you just have to be in. You would this I think is more tied to your skill level than all else, and you'd like you have to pull it off here due to the fact.
I think there's a lot of piloting that
Yeah,
needs to happen with this.
yeah,
Yeah, I also want to mention about the water type. It's just like it's hard to switch into other than if you're forced to bring Victory Bell. And
yeah,
like it can just be offensive and defensive rule a good chunk of your team with Donphan
yeah.
and
Like
Zongzong.
rain
Just
looks
like
kind of
getting on the
cracked
defensive ones.
Mm.
if
Just like
they
I'd
have like.
refresh my rotate or something.
Yeah, I would say it like exactly like opposing rain like with like Kingdra looks kind of rough for you because it's almost there doesn't outspeed it with Swift Swim, so you are super relying on this TTR to come in, and it gets worn down as I have mentioned. So like opposing water types, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's definitely immediately visible.
Yeah, but it's a good. I think it's a good take. It's not as strong as some of the others, but it's still well thought out. You have thought out very clearly about how you hit everything, and I like the highs of this draft. It has some lows, but
Yeah.
you have to just pilot this well. I would give this 8 or 7.5. 7.5 sounds reasonable
I
to me.
think 7.5 sounds good, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would put it
I'll
above
take
King
that.
Rock.
Oh, last final three. Good, I am on time because the guy comes in 30 minutes. Yep.
Cool.
This has gone smoothly. Vogue with the mini Marinis. Just for context, I don't think Vogue has played a lot of draft before, so he was Smoke owner that we found in the application phase.
Fair enough.
Because this draft that shows just kind of shows that he kind of lacks experience in the draft. Like
This is drafted by somebody that plays DPP OU but doesn't play draft.
yeah, like what screams to me is that this is slow, like really slow.
I would agree with that. You've got really good like inter-Pokemon synergy though
Yeah,
on this team, but it is, yes, a really slow draft. Because it's Persian and Murkrow are fake in their speed tiers.
yeah,
Because you don't want to bring them every week.
yep.
Which means that your second fastest one is 86 and your fastest is 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a fast U-turn one. Just like gets into whatever breaker you want.
And the spinner being Hitmonchan is kinda sus. Like
That's true.
It does get foresight.
Glalie is good spikes, I guess. Yeah, and Azumarill is an interesting one for sure. I hope that the Azumarill can go hard here. With huge power waterfalls. No liquidation yet.
It needs to. It's the only physical breaker on the team.
Yeah, like this is it's heavy in stall, and I don't think it really has the it has Glalis for spikes, but you have the Rotom or the spin blocking, so I guess that can be given that the hazarding core ignoring the spinner is good. So
yeah, this is tricky because this team hates being statist because it's kind of like a stally sort of team, but it doesn't have any reliable recovery.
yeah.
I don't think I would go as far as that, so I think it's just like really hard balance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not like
it just doesn't have the speed to have any offensive presence, though.
Yeah,
it's the issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just fat. I
wouldn't call
really
it bulky offense either.
No.
Yeah, but
Sorry, go.
Yeah,
go.
It's you're a fat team that has dog shit spin. You don't have any like offensive pressure to really do anything outside of the Heatran and the Azumarill. So you're totally relying on the Snorlax again, like the other Snorlax team, that you're relying on it going well and it doing the things that it needs to do. Hitmonchan is not gonna get many spins off against the strong ghosts of the format. It's not gonna spin against like opposing Rotoms or Frostlass or that kind of stuff. So that is
actually Frostlass is one of its good matchups because it has foresight.
Oh yeah, it has foresight. Yeah. Okay.
And special defense. So like those are actually the matchups that it's good against. It's really bad against things like Dust Noir and things that are going to be burning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rotom. But like Frostlass or Spirit Tomb isn't as much of an issue. But
I guess you can just blast them with fighting coverage after foresight because they are weak to weak to fighting.
The fighting.
Foresight, yeah.
This team, it looks like you want Nidoking to be breaking, but it doesn't have sheer force in this generation. Yeah. So it's just not hitting hard enough. Like nothing in this team hits hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's just offensive Heatran.
I mean, yes. But Heatran, it doesn't have the speed. Like you switch in your bulky water type. Like you switch in a Tentacruel or something.
I guess just like go Celebi on that click U-turn again, just like hopefully repeat it.
Mm.
Yeah, and the pivoting is bad. It's just Celebi, I guess, and Rotom.
Rotom doesn't
You
get
know,
anything, I
you
don't
know, yeah.
think.
Yeah, Rotom doesn't.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, no bottom pass in this generation. Yeah, so the pivoting is bad.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's
it's hard.
rough.
It's. I think it might be the first.
Also, none of your Stealth Rockers want to run Stealth Rock on this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have 3 Stealth Rockers. All of them are fine, but all of them are kind of forced into other roles on this team.
Yeah.
Like, really, you're going to be running it on Celebi 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
So you kind of
Yeah,
want that to be
like,
running nasty plot offensive on this team.
Yeah.
yeah, for like something like Dragonite, that would be big because like your only dragon is switching to Heatran really, because like nothing else has the right amount of raw bulk to switch into like a Dragonite. So like that just get EQ with Heatran to like
Yeah,
mix like
you're
both
looking
the
at kind of
and
like
even.
you're looking at like a Citrus Snorlax or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough draft.
Yeah, I think might be the worst one.
There's definitely a case for it. Let me
Yeah,
look at that.
I would give it.
2.5.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Killers is better, and who's the other one that we put at 3?
Deleted user.
I think
Oh.
due to the sheer fact that this has more real mons than deleted users, deleted.
Yeah, I think the Metagross just makes it better.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say this is a 2.5, but it's worse than the.
I think
users.
2.5 is fair.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
No, final 2. Ninja Go Foxo. What a weird name.
Ninjago, Foxo.
Oh,
It's
Ninjago.
Lego, my friend.
Lego.
Oh, Lego Ninja.
Ninja. Okay, yeah.
Instant 10.
One. So 3 water types.
I mean, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that
Not
bad.
the worst.
What is a
type to start.
perfectly spammable type in this
Yeah.
metagame?
I quite like this team. In all honesty, I hate the fact that there is no spiker, but like that's perfectly acceptable. You have 2 great leads, almost like you have 3 great lead, Gliscor even like Clefable, Gyarados, Machamp, and Gliscor. Those are awful, like good as fuck leads. And the Wobbuffet, I really like the inclusion of that.
Drifloon is low-key a busted lead, by the way.
Okay. Yeah,
Unburdened Destiny Bond focus sash shenanigans.
Oh yeah, it's
Low key.
totally unburdened mon, yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but also kind of funny. This team is a power spam team.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah, the Gyarados doesn't really want to be a Dragon Dancer on this team. It would really prefer, or it can be, but it would really like just clicking its tabs or its waterfall here to get.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
this
just that went
Gyarados.
with the powers.
Sorry?
You go on. I was saying like with the waterfall power spam with Machamp.
Yeah,
Seems
I was
great.
going to say that I think Gyarados is running almost always T-Wave, Dragon Dance, Waterfall coverage in almost every matchup.
Yeah.
This is just a straight up power spam team because you've got some of the best paralysis, like mons that benefit from paralysis in Machamp and Gyarados. Like they're 2 of the best at exploiting it. And then you've also got things like Subpataya Empoleon that gets a free sub if it gets to if you've got paralyzed mons and things like that. It's a very one-dimensional team,
Yeah.
but that's not horrible. Yeah.
I think like if you win like clearly though. Like, and it's not going to be a fun game for your opponent.
100%. This team, however, does absolutely despise Bolt Beam. Oh, whoops.
Whoopsie. Yep,
I fixed it.
Yep. Yeah,
I was trying to fix the it.
I think it has good speed tiers. With
It
the
does.
army being high fast, and it has relatively good pivoting. It's not like perfect, but it has some aspects. It mostly comes down to the Kliss core and Empoleon if it does have the bottom pass, which I need to double check again.
It does not.
I don't think it does, yeah.
It does.
But Plusle is actually not terrible. It's got decent speed, plus it's got bat and pass, which is pretty good.
I like the inclusion of the Wobbuffet here, personally. And because it can...
Wobbuffet does, yeah.
It's like a good surprise catcher to lock some defensive mon down, like what comes or an offensive mon. Let's just say like
Gliscor, you turning out of a water into Wobbuffet to clear it out for all of this spam is great.
Like anchoring like a Suicune would be kind of good here, and then just mirror coding it down over time. Like it seems pretty good. Yeah, the speed tiers are nice. Like I don't.
It's hard to say a lot about this team because it's so one-dimensional, but it's very clear in what it wants to do in that regard.
Oh, actually seems like made some transactions. Gliscor, Empoleon, and Arbok for Steelix, Frostlass, Venusaur.
Okay, yeah. That can be good, but...
That's terrible.
Dropping Empoleon seems so sad.
Yeah, and we are ranking based on the week 1, so it is. But if he made bad transactions, it will be what it is. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. This is like a 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 seems good.
Yep. And final team, Relics. Yeah. This is solid. Like... Can you guys...
Yeah, like the speed with Flygon and stuff just seems nice. And the just dense core, defensive core of Melodic Skarmory just like deal with an electric type somehow.
I think this does fundamentally, like, it's a very like fundamentals based draft. Like it has gone for like the good speed option, and then it has gone to hazards, and then he has a good ground in Flygon and bulky water and the spin blocker and the good spinner. It's a very fundamental following draft to its, and it has kind of turned out really well with it. And
I think it's the best fundamental draft we've seen. Like, I guess other than the fighting weakness, or other than Miss Maggie's.
Yeah, like it is weak to Infernape, but
everything is weak to Infernape.
Yeah, everything is weak to Infernape.
It's actually not that weak to Infernape. Because Milotic eats 2 grass nuts.
Yeah.
Now we're just saying you're weak to Infernape just whenever.
Yeah.
I think this is a great draft. It's got awesome speed tiers.
Yeah,
it's got awesome type coverage.
It's a very fundamental draft, but that's not a problem. Like if you can just pull off great drafts like this purely with good fundamentals. Well, he has good spiking too. Like this has everything. Like it has solid enough pivoting with the bottom pass users and a U-turn from Flygon. It can beat everything with its defensive profile. Like I don't have much to say about this. This is good fundamental draft. It has no clear signs of weakness, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to. It's got all of the pieces that you would want. Like him on top, one of the better spinners. Miss Magius is one of the. It's got like the second best in every mon, which is actually a really great thing to have in a draft.
Yeah, like I might be
I guess you
honest. This
would
might
want
be better
another.
than endless draft.
I think like the only thing that you do want another hazard mon other than like Skarmory, just so like you don't have to run spikes and Stealth Fox if you want spikes
Yeah,
on it.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. Drapion doesn't
The
have
Magmortar
spikes.
is potentially out of place here and could have been more utility.
Yeah,
That's probably the only gripe, but it's also your special breaker.
yeah.
So,
It's like fair enough. It beats the steals that this team needs to beat. In the if they're like running heavy physical defensive investment. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with this draft. Like inherently, it's a good
yeah.
draft. It's just good draft. Is it better than the endless draft?
I think
I
so a
think
little worse.
This
I
might be
think
the
this
best one.
lacks like I think this lacks a little bit of the core breaking that
Yeah.
you would want from a draft. Like you've got no real physical breaker. Like Flygon's your best. Like its breaking suffers, but it is a balance. It is a balanced team, but it's gonna have some really poor matchups, like
Yeah.
where Skarmory can't make progress and things like that. So it has some issues. It's a really solid draft, but it is somewhat exploitable. Like this team doesn't really like toxic spikes. Um, I know Drapion can absorb them, but mons like Milo and Hitmontop and Raikou really hate having that status. So I don't think it's the best draft
But it's a good one.
that's been there.
Yeah, I would maybe this draft
I think
look like
Lose is better.
Heal Bell. Yeah, Heal
I
Bell
think it's like
use
9, but probably slightly worse.
yeah.
I want to give it 8.5
Okay. 8.5
I
sounds
mean,
fair enough.
I don't think we have an
because I
8.5,
think
so like sounds good.
I think Lose draft is a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me. Now.
Same
that
with
is-
E-Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the draft. Now time to order these correctly in the doc. But that is what I have to say about personally even. So it goes from top to bottom, bottom to top. So that's the order, and we can just slap those in said order in real quick. So like mid pulse goes somewhere down here.
I think Vogue's is the worst.
Yeah, Vox is the worst one.
Even though there's two 2.5s.
Yeah. Then there's Koi at 14th. Louis Rinaldi goes
Isn't
right
there
to
another
second
three?
place. And Endless, obviously. Well, it's to be.
We get to have the fun argument of who's better out of Ree and me
Yeah.
because we both have 7.5s.
Yeah. I would say maybe your reliability, maybe your reliability in your draft. Well, no, I would say Reese is a tad bit better.
I feel like theirs is more consistent.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
it's
you will have a
consistency
solid
over
game plan.
highs. Maybe
You're kind of like comparing apples and oranges because they're very different draft philosophy drafts.
yeah, like I don't think it matters which order we put them in.
I don't think it does either.
Yeah, like
Like, we're the only ones that are going to look at it and we already know the result.
yeah. And E-Man goes right to third place.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Where's E-Man's? Where is it? There it is. E-Man is third place, then yeah.
Actually,
I've
no,
got another
E-Man should be
7.5 of
second
coconuts.
above Lou.
Okay. I can understand totally. Are there any
What do
where's
you think of coconuts? Because like they also got 7.5.
I think it's worse than yours in terms of being an offense. Because you have more reliability.
The top heavy is really rough for
Yeah.
coconuts, I think
Yeah.
is the main thing there.
Yeah. So I would put Reese. Reese maybe highest, then Rose, then Coconut out of the 7.5s, but Rose
That's
and
fair.
Rhea are equal in my opinion. Like if I had to, I would make Coconuts a 7.4.
How very diplomatic of you.
Yeah.
How very
Yeah.
diplomatic of you with us in the call.
I'm the council. I own the place. Well, no. Yeah. So I'll just write the letters to these sheets correctly later on because I have to go pretty soon.
Cool.
But thank you guys for joining me. This has been Serenity's PRs. I hope that I can get the day this uploaded soon enough. And thank you to Ree and Rose for joining me on this fun adventure going through the teams in Serenity. So glad to have you had taken part in this and really appreciate the
Not a
help.
problem.
It was
Yeah,
quite a
thanks
fun
for inviting
experience.
us.
Yeah. So any complaints you guys have, you can suck them up your ass, and because we are the correct people, and well, I'm joking. You can take them with me and Rhea and Rose, obviously, and we can always discuss why we gave the certain rankings that we did. But the video explains everything pretty well.
Cool.
And to get the full experience, I hope they watch the video because these sheets are kind of lacking. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next time if you guys watch my other videos. Goodbye, guys.